Hey, David Breslow back here with you. I want to talk to you in today's training video about the word surrender. Now, the word surrender is not a word a lot of golfers really like to hear because unfortunately the word surrender is taken in a very negative way. And when I say the word surrender to golfers, they often feel like they're being asked to give up or give in or be a doormat, and that's actually not the case at all. Here's an example of what I mean. Did you ever have one of those days, let's say on the golf course, let's keep it there, where everything you were doing seemed to not work? You were struggling with your game, you were pulling everything but the kitchen sink out, trying to figure out how to get yourself back on track, and no matter what you tried, it didn't seem to work. And somewhere around maybe the 13th or 14th hole, you just said, the heck with it. And you kind of threw your hands up and you said, I give up. I give up. You did everything but get off the course. You basically gave up, and then what happens next? What so many golfers will tell me that when they do something like that, it seems magically they started playing great golf. And that game hadn't shown up all day up until that moment, and all of a sudden they're hitting the ball beautifully. Why? It's because of surrender. Think of it this way, an example off the golf course. If you're driving on the highway and you get a flat tire, you pull the car over, you're on your way to an appointment, and you know that you're cutting the time really close. Then you get the flat tire, you have the car off to the side of the road, you start trying to fix the tire and to change the tire, get the jack out of the trunk and the whole bit, and the whole time you're getting frustrated and you're getting angry. And at some point you realize you're just not going to make it. What happens to you then? For many people, they just get this kind of feeling of calm. Their body just kind of gives in, this feeling of relaxation and calm takes over, because the reality is, in that moment, you surrendered, which is why you felt so much better. So the word surrender is not about giving up or giving in, it's really about letting go. So on the golf course, you want to be able to surrender before you move that golf club. When you're standing in a dress position, you should be in a moment of what I call a moment of surrender. Because if you've done a proper routine, then you've done everything you need to do. There's nothing else left to think about. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to checklist your way down like a lot of people do. You can just see the mind grinding away. Did I do this, 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 this? Check, 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 check. If you were a pilot of the airplane I was on, I would love if you did that. But when you're on the golf course, no, that doesn't work. So surrender is the key word for the day. Next time you go play a round of golf, or even at the practice range, practice the art of surrender. As you're standing over the golf ball, surrender. The same as you would do when that flat tire was trying to be fixed and you realized, you know what, I'm not going to make my appointment. That's it. I've done everything I could. It's not going to happen. The flat tire is here. I'm not going to get it done in time. Surrender. And the moment you surrender and you give in, everything changes. Because internally, here's what's happening. Your mind, body, and emotions are now working in sync. Up until then, they've been fighting with each other, struggling with each other, and you have this inner turmoil going on. In the moment of surrender, they go like this. It's like they just sunk back in and meshed with each other. And it's a beautiful thing. That's why you start playing great golf. It's not a surprise at all, because of the way the mind, body, and emotions are put together, and because of the way they function by law, which every golfer I ever worked with, and in my most unique mental game product that's on the market called Wired to Win, 7 laws, 21 days, change the way you play the game of golf. You learn that these laws are functioning and the mind, body, and emotions can click like this. And when they do, you have, in effect, surrendered, which is why everything gets so much better. So that's the key word for today. Next time you go put a golf club in your hand, think surrender and see what happens. Dave Breslow, founder of mentalgolfcoaching.com, and once again I ask you, please leave a comment here. Would love to start a dialogue with you and hear what you have to say about this training video or any other video you may see of mine. So I look forward to hearing from you. Dave Breslow, take care. To your best golf.